Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, the only league for the performance on this season for the 2019 game. Like I said, at the glorious race of the Mexico track, but I will go through it in more detail. But before I carry on, I'd like to enter the legend, as I always said, from last week, a good friend of mine, Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
How you doing, Malk? I am absolutely ecstatic, and I'm ready to watch some amazing racing by these drivers here tonight.
No worries. What did you think of it last week, in your perspective?
Well, it definitely was not a snoozer, if I'm going to say anything. Of course, you know, as we remember, Mr. Sky got out to an early lead, but once Scopefielder got by him, Scopefielder was just completely gone and dominated the rest of the race. And then I remember, you know, looking back around mid-pack, there was really just a lot of battles going on, and really we weren't strapped looking for action. It was always right there. We just had to open our eyes.
Definitely. But like I said, as you was mentioning about some of the drivers there, Mr. Sky C, who's the only driver who's only won one race, and I say this again, he's won one race, but he's won 2 titles, Drivers' Championships, within those 2 seasons last year, or last 2018 game as well. So that was a fantastic achievement. But also Scopefielder, he'll be the one to watch, to be fair, as you're saying there, Tim. But this track, Mexico, I will go through more details here now, Tim. It's called the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. It's a 2.674 miles with a 4.303 kilometers. We will have, I believe, 36 laps. We'll have 36 laps, maybe 35, 36 laps. Now, it's got 17 turns, but we'll go through one of the tracks itself. Now, tyre wear, if I remember it right, it's a absolute not great, shall we say. Have you driven around here before?
Yes, I have actually. And actually, while you were talking about the 17 turns, I just got bad flashbacks from my career mode from F1 2018 to where I believe it was turn 13 or turn 14. It's right when you're entering the stadium section.
Yes.
And it's just, you get a lot of speed, and then you have to slow down and just remain slow through that entire stadium section, and that was just the worst part for me. And so I'm going to be keeping my eye on that section, because if there's going to be some wrecks, if there's going to be some contact, if there's going to be any kind of, shall I say, kerfluffle at all, it's more than likely going to be there.
Oh, definitely. But looking at it from that point of view there, Tim, I mean, would you reckon that will be the one to watch for the drivers tonight, or is there a different corner that you can see that they need to watch out for tonight?
Well, definitely the stadium section, because it's just a slow area to go through, because, you know, of course, the driver's mindset is I want to go fast, and then, you know, as I'm looking right here, we're actually currently watching Mike, who is on his outlap, and, you know, the track, it's got these nice straightaways where you can pick up some speed, but then that stadium section, like I said, you just have to go so slow, and then even here, there's a couple of different S-curves, shall we say.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like Maggots and Beckett's back in at the glorious, the home of the British Grand Prix, that Silverstone track. So we always remember that from going through there. I'm just going to watch Archie now. So he'd be the first driver. Boy Better Know was ahead, but I think he's just let Archie through in the Sauber car. A reminder, guys, this is the last pre-season race. This is the this race is equal terms again, so the admins can make sure they pick the right cars for next week pretty much. So looking at this now, here's Archie now doing his qualifying lap. I will go through the qualifying lap and then we'll get back to Tim in a minute here. We're coming up to the first corner now after the sharp braking from the long DRS straight here. We're coming to turn 2 now, then to turn 3, then we come to the second DRS straight, which is coming up to the end of the first sector here. This is one of the trickiest starts, shall we say, and he's done a 28.1, and then he comes up to the second sector now. This is the part where turn 4, then to turn 5, then coming up to turn 6 for the hairpin corner there. Beautiful stadium section there. And then down the straight here to come up to, which is turn 7 now, then through the Mexico type, Maggots and Beckett's type, through there, 10, and then 11 here now. Oh, he's got a little bit wide there, but he's still holding on there. We'll go to the secondary. Oh, he's invalidated his lap. His lap would have been invalidated, so still watching it from Boy Better Know's point of view here now. Coming to turn 12 now. This is the one that you were saying to here, Tim. This is the part with this stadium section. This is turn 13. This is turn 14. Now, the part where you could hit the car here. Turn 15 goes really slow, and then you can go full pelch as long as you don't mess about the back. And Boy Better Know's done the fastest time of a 1 minute 17.7 on the hard tyre. That's a good time, to be fair. What do you think about that then, Tim?
Definitely a nice time, and I'm just going to say, going back on the stadium section, I was actually looking on the onboard of Boy Better Know there, and I'm noticing, well, actually, I should say I'm remembering just how tight the exit out of that stadium section can really get, and we're really going to have to be, well, really all drivers are going to have to be on the lookout there, because that section gets really tight. It looks like you can maybe fit 3 cars in there, when really you could probably only fit about 2, 2.5, and no one has a half car here today.
No, not a half car here, unless there was an issue, but with no tissue, so we say, Tim. But, like I said, as you said, this corner there, we're just watching Aaron J. Spence now, coming to the final few corners here. I do agree with you. They've got to be absolutely spot on. Oh, brilliant stuff! Absolutely brilliant from Aaron J. Spence here, with a 117 flat on the medium tyre. Fantastico, magnifico! Tim.
Now, last week, we're talking about tires here. Last week, remember how I believe it was Energy Dan who actually started on the hard. He qualified on the hard, started on the hard, and he was thinking that maybe that would help him out because he could go longer on those hard tires, when really it turned out that the medium tires, starting on the medium tires, was actually the preferred choice from last week. What do you think the tires are going to do here today?
Oh, before I carry on here, Tim, Archie's done the fastest lap of the qualifier with a 116.1 on the soft tyre. That's a cracking lap, Tim. Do you agree? Oh, Scousey!
Oh, yes, and Mr. Sky.
Oh,
Schofielder on the top now with a 115.613. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mount, but I also got quite excited.
Oh, I am sorry as well, Tim. We're both sorry between ourselves because we didn't know which one to pick from the driver stuff. So, like I said, regarding the tyre wear, as you were saying earlier here, Tim, if I was the driver now, if you go on the softs, I think the softs only last about, if I remembered it right, about 8 laps, I think. 6 to 8 laps. I might be wrong. Mediums should last about 10 to 13 laps, and then the hard should do at least half of the lap, or half of the race itself. So they could do medium, they could do soft, medium, medium, or medium, soft, soft, probably to start off with, but with Archie, Mr. Scousey and Schofielder all on the soft tyres, I think, for me personally, I would not start on the softs. I would have started on the hards or the mediums, which what some of the drivers are already doing. But what are your thoughts there, Tim?
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting to say the least. I kind of feel like the hards are going to be a little bit of an advantage here because I think it's going to actually, if possible, give people an advantage if they start on the hard tires and try to make it on only one stop. Because I was telling you last week that a driver in the Performance 2 League last season, MJ Coop, actually won at this track with just a one-stop strategy, and he had about a 21-second lead in front of second place. So I think that if anybody can make a one-stop strategy work, that it behooved them to try it here tonight.
Yeah, with the like I said, with the one-stop, it's very, very difficult. You've got to make sure you get those hard tyres to probably last about. We would have to have possibly 18 to 20 laps on the hards, and then medium should get up to 16 to push it if you want to do the one stop to save the bet, or get the hards as much as possible. But you'll be losing so much time on the straights and on the driving as well. But it's going to be very tough here, Tim, tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's definitely a lot of pressure to, for the drivers to have to deal with, because they're sitting here and they're constantly going through their mind, what tire do I need to go out here and set my lap on? What, so that way I can start on that tire. So it's just a constant battle mentally for them to try to just pick the right strategy, because you never know what's going to happen in these things, especially at the start when all the cars are bunched up.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, for the driver, you think, oh, please make a mistake. You don't, to yourself, don't make a mistake, but let the others make a mistake and give you an opportunity to get even further up, to stand any chance of like getting a podium or even better, a win tonight. But what tyre would you have gone for if he was racing tonight? There's the question I need to ask you. Tim.
Well,
Sorry.
it looked. No, you're fine, Mount. It looks like here that actually a lot of people are favoring the soft tires, at least the fastest qualifier. But of course, as you were saying, the soft tires are not going to last as long as the medium and the hards. I kind of feel like where everybody else seems to be going for the soft tire, I myself would go for the medium tire just to switch things up a bit, try to do things differently, and see if I can get an advantage that way by staying out on the track longer.
Definitely, definitely. But what lap would you have gone for? Like, it's hard to say now, but what lap would you have gone for on here if you started? I did say a guesstimate of like 10 to 15 laps. I said 13, but 15 laps, possibly 16. You'd probably have to do 16 laps, won't you, if you was on the medium tyre, to be fair.
Well, it all depends on how each driver can save their tires, because there's a number of different strategies to try to, get as much life out of the tires as possible. But it also depends on if a driver finds themselves in a battle with someone else where someone's putting pressure on them, and then they have to make the decision, okay, do I fight for this position, this precious track position, or do I let them go and hope that I can get the position back later?
It just depends on how everyone does it. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant from Archie! Archie Bargy here. Brilliant stuff from LR Archie for 1:15.3. 3 tenths quicker than Schofielder's time on the soft tyres. A few times updates here, Tim. We've got Ferocious Dad did a 1:16.7 on the medium tyres. We had Mr. F1 Mr. P on 17 flat on the mediums. We had Sab on 17.5 on the mediums, but he looks like he will go back into the pits. Boy Better Knows on the soft tyres, so he's 3 tenths quicker, so I'm going to watch on his time now. But what a lap from Archie at the minute here, Tim.
I agree completely. He just, well, I'm not going to say he clobbered Schofielder's time. Schofielder is still within about 3/10 of him, but definitely he's obviously right on top of the board, and the soft tires paying off for him in qualifying.
Oh, absolutely, it's absolutely fantastico. Just say fantastico, magnifico. If you do that, Tim, you're a legend on that one, if you say it on there. But
Fantastico and magnifico?
Oh, the American version of the Italiano. American Italiano. Nice, nice. We got Boy Better Know coming up to his final few corners. Oh, he's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. He's going back into the pits. I thought he was doing a quicker time, but he's going back into the pits. Mad times here. I'm just going to watch Miss... Oh, no, not Mr. Scorsese. He did a 15.5. He's quicker than Scope by a tenth. Well, just under a tenth, shall we say. I'm going to watch Aaron J. Spence now. Aaron J. Spence did a 1:16.2 on the soft tyre, so that's his best time so far. Oh, SJD did a 16. 1 minute 16.6 on the medium tyre. That's a cracking time, to be fair, on the medium tyre. Based on the times that I'm seeing here at the minute, I expected 16 to hit the mediums, 15 to hit the softs, and 17s to hit with the hard tyres, which is what Boy Better Now is doing on the hard tyres in 9th place. Is there drivers that you think that are a bit of a shock, or do you think, is there anyone that stands you out here, Tim, of the qualifying?
Well, Mr. Sky and Schofielder being second and third, I mean, obviously they showed promising speed last week. Archie, he was showing some promising speed, so there's really not a lot of surprises. But going back on the lap times, I'm going to make a bold prediction here that somebody is going to put on some soft tires, and then go out and make about a 1:14.9. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I truly believe it's going to happen.
A 1:14.9. You've heard that. Do you think that's going to happen here tonight? Do you think Tim's prediction is going to hit the 14s tonight? It could happen with the softs, it depends, because bear in mind, as the time goes in, the time, like I said, with the tyre wear around here, whilst the cars are all warming up the track, it's getting even quicker and quicker and quicker, but it just depends on how everyone else does it as well. Just watching I was going to say watching NG Dan. Mike, I'm going to watch him now. I don't know whether he's doing his lap. Yeah, he's doing his lapping at the minute here, Tim. He's going through your favourite part of the Sector 3, which is the baseball ground. You probably hate me after this here, Tim, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on through the next few corners here with Mike here. The civilian legend, shall we say. Oh, he's teasing us. Mike's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Mad times. Well, every time I say that, Tim, it means it looks like they're doing the lap, but then they're going back into the pits. They're just teasing us on that one. Watching it on the commentary box on that one.
Yeah, I was watching him, and I was wondering, he hasn't even set a time yet. I'm honestly surprised that he decided to go into the pits. It looked like he had, I don't know, maybe at least a decent lap going, but of course maybe he's trying to save his tires and make some adjustments and then go back out there and try to set a blistering lap. Because I've seen it a lot of times last season in the Performance 2 League where drivers wouldn't actually set a time until about, 5 minutes or even less remaining, and then the whole time they would just go out, drive for most of a lap, I guess, to get a feel of the car and get a feel for the handling and the adjustments that need to be made.
Yeah, definitely. But
we are under park firm rules, though, are we not? So the adjustments are limited anyway.
I believe so, yes, because it's the pre-season races, obviously, with the track itself. Because obviously, we had Spain last week, and we've got Mexico this week. These two tracks that we've tried on the pre-season race, they will not appear on the league season. For the first time in a while, Britain will not be on the calendar but also Monaco is like one of the tracks to watch out for this season. But it's only on race 2, so the guys are going to get themselves prepped up and ready to go to start off with, because like I said, Monaco in race 2 will be a killer, especially for the newcomers and also for the drivers who have not experienced it for so many years at Invictus, so many seasons at Invictus.
I use a pad actually when I play this game, and I haven't got to Monaco yet on the 2019 career mode, but in 2018 the hairpin. And I know it is a dreaded part of the track regardless, but the hairpin and then the section through the tunnel, I could never hang on to it. The hairpin, I'd always go too wide, get into the wall, and then the section in the tunnel, I would just completely lose it, slam right into the wall, coming just out of the tunnel or still in the tunnel. So it's definitely going to put a spanner in things, and I think it's actually a good idea that they decided to put it at only the second race of the season, because I made the prediction last week that it still can make or break someone's season, and I truly believe that is the truth. But by it being only the second race rather than the second to last race, you can make a mistake and still recover.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd rather have it done first off earlier on in the season rather than messing up at the end when you try and battle out for the title for the drivers or constructors, whatever happens in this season here. But as we was discussing about Monaco, Boy Better Know has done in 4th place for 1 minute 16. Aaron J. Spence will be doing this lap in now. Same with Archie and Mr. Skycy, so they'll be the ones to watch out for. Saab has retired. Saab has retired from the session. SJD has retired from the session. So something must happen there. We've got green flags here again. So something must happen there on those sectors. Boy Better Know is going. Oh, it's just letting one of the drivers through. Mr. Skycy is 2/10 quicker on his time. He's 3/10 quicker on his better time. Mr. Skycy on from the 1 minute 15. So at the moment he could do a 1:15.2 if he can keep it equal.
Currently, I am watching Boy Better Know on board with him, but it doesn't look like he's going to set a fast lap this time around. He's actually slowing down while entering the stadium section, going to let another driver by. I believe that is Mr. P. No, it is not. Mr. P's in the pits.
It might be... Archie Barchie has done... Oh, no! Massive incident. Well, I'm not saying incident. It was just Mr. Skycy lost the car, as you said about the situation at the baseball ground situation. He's lost the car. He hit the wall, and he's completely lost it on there. And he's lost. Would have been a quicker time. Everyone else would have done quicker. Archie is still in pole position at the minute, but Scope could be the one to watch it at the minute. He's a tenth quicker on his time, so could do 1:15.5, Tim. But like I said, would Scopefielder beat Archie's time, Tim?
I don't know. We have just under 3 minutes remaining in this session, and this is going to be the final lap for him. We're currently watching him right now in that Haas, and he is completely trying to make a blistering lap. He is just so speedy through these corners. I am watching him, how he's even hanging on to it. I have no idea. As I said, we are on board, and he is entering the stadium section now, taking that slow right-hander, going in, taking an even slower left-hander.
Yeah,
about to exit the stadium section now. Very smooth, very, very smooth. Just a little loose coming off.
Here we go, Tim. He's getting quicker. Oh, brilliant stuff! Absolutely brilliant.
1:15.162 pole time for Scopefielder.
Oh, brilliant stuff! Absolutely brilliant from Scope. Oh, I tell you what, you don't need a sniper to add that. He just shot himself into pole position here. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, our voices will be gone after all this here, Tim.
You called it before I even started watching the battle. Scopefielder with the fastest lap. He is on pole with a 1:15.162, followed by Archie with a 1:15.2, then Mr. Sky with 1:15.5, a 1:16.0 for Boy Better Know. Aaron JS in the 5th position with a 1:16.2, a 1:16.6 on the medium tires goes to SJD, who actually had to retire from that session. Ferocious Dan also on mediums with a 1:16.7, a 1:16.7 also going to Colin J14. Energy Dan in the Renault, he has soft tires on, but a 1:16.9 was all he was able to accomplish in this session. Mr. P in 10th with a 1:17.0, and then the screen changed, was not able to catch the rest.
I think, yeah, I can't say my words now. They don't realise that the timings just don't stay on to like as much as possible there. But I tell you what, Tim, Scopefielder is following on for what he did last week in the win at Spain. He's following on to win, to get a good position. But bear in mind, I will say this now, I will not be the best person to start off on pole at Mexico, because you've got the long straight. Everyone will have the slipstream from everyone at the back. Scopefielder will be a sitting duck at the start of the race as long as he doesn't get a bad start. But what's your thoughts on that one there, Tim?
Well, Scopefielder, he showed some speed, so if he can get ahead within the first, 3-4 laps or so, then I don't think he's going to have any issue with anyone getting DRS. But like you said, having that slipstream, having that draft on the straightaways, that might hurt him. But again, if he can just get good exits out of these corners, he should be okay.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Before I forget, TL44S is Tom44S. Back in the days, I always say Tom 4S on that one, Tim. So you probably hear me saying that all the time, which could not pronounce the fours with the Toms 444 on that one. But he unfortunately could not make the qualifying, so he's joined late. I've been told probably from some of the drivers that there could be some issues with the connection. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem. At the moment, our streams look okay at the minute, as in on our viewings, but if we notice anything, we'll have to let them know as soon as possible during the race. Hopefully they'll see it on that one anyway. But like I said, Miss Skycy, Scopefielder, Archie as well. Archie's done a cracking qualifying, to be fair. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Showed quite a lot of speed, and then Scopefielder, of course, setting that blistering lap there just at the end. So Scopefielder, Archie, and of course Mr. Sky, he's the ones that we're going to have to watch for here today. At least they're the ones on the podium. They're the ones that we're going to be watching for here. But who would you say about mid-pack should we be watching?
Mid-pack? I would look out for SJD and Mr. P at the moment here, looking at it. But don't bear in mind, look out for Mike as well, because he does well. He starts at the back and he does a performance like no other man's business. But oh, we're starting the race. I was expecting the formation lap. I believe.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so we do.
Definitely. Okay, well, it looks like Archie now is out to an early lead, but Scopebuilder in that Haas on the outside is battling back hard. Looks like he cut a corner. I don't know if that's going to be an issue for the stewards or not, but they are side by side and wheel to wheel out of the first few corners.
3 in a bed. This could be a 3 in a bed situation here. 2 in a bed, maybe 4. No. Oh, brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant start here. Like I said, I think the admins, the normal admins who are not there tonight, obviously they had to let one of the drivers to do the settings, but they must have forgot to do the formation lap tonight. That's why we're a bit slow on responsive here tonight. But like I said, we've had a 3 in a bed situation here, Tim. 3 in a bed. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Colin J's dropped down to 15th place here, Tim. Your thoughts?
I don't know. Did you see what happened to him? I have no idea what happened to Colin J. I was watching the battle for the lead as Archie is currently in the stadium section under a lot of pressure under Scopebuilder. Scopebuilder definitely trying to make that pass, but it's not going to work this time. He might be able to make it at the end of the front stretch.
Ooh, that could be interesting stuff here. I didn't see the incident from Colin J. He may have made a mistake, or for whatever happens here, but it's hard for us to pick up every single moment and every single time. That's why we're hoping that they give us all the brilliant highlights here as well.
Scopebuilder's trying to make a move on the outside. He has the advantage, and he's on the inside out of the second corner. And Scopebuilder has cleared Archie. Scopebuilder in the Haas is now in command of this race, but Archie is right at the back bumper, and he's trying to make a move again, going into the next corner. They are side by side and wheel to wheel.
Oh,
who will come out with the advantage?
Oh, brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. 2 in a bed situation. I was just watching Mike and Luke Bailey there with the battle here earlier on. Mike's just overtook it into 11th place here, Tim. But like I said, this is a brilliant battle for the top 4 of the lead here. Fantastical.
Yep, and definitely, as you can see, Archie is pulling away. Scopebuilder had the advantage just a little bit, but it looks like Archie is much better at around that... I am drawing a complete blank. I don't know what to call that section. Scopebuilder goes just a little bit wide, a little bit off the track, entering the stadium section. Now, this is where Scopebuilder has been really good. I noticed in the last lap, he was really good in this section, and he gained an enormous amount of time on Archie. They're now down the front straightaway as TL445 has a 3-second time penalty. Archie leads this lap. They are going into the first quarter yet again. Scopebuilder not close enough to make the move, at least not just yet.
No, absolutely not. But can I say something also? While you were mentioning about TL44S, not 5, sorry, it's TL44S, he's moved up 10 places from 15th to 5th in the matter of 2 laps. So that's a brilliant position changes here. Fantastic stuff here. But what's going to happen here? This fantastic race at the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, the only league this season. We used to have 2 leagues last season, but well, in the last game, but now we've condensed it to 1 league now this season with all the committed drivers battling out here. Like I said, this is the last pre-season race, so before the start of the league racing next week. So hopefully the admins will pick in the correct cars for the correct drivers. I will not be surprised if the fastest drivers, which we are seeing at the moment here with Archie, Scope, Skysea and Boy Better Know, could be possibly like in a Williams slash Torosso, or Williams slash whatever car. Next.
It's very possible. In fact, I would almost guarantee that Scopebuilder is going to be in the Williams, as now Scopebuilder is making a move for the lead, and I think he just barely led that lap. He just barely got it, and Scopebuilder now has the fastest lap, and he is in front of Archie now going into the first corner. Archie putting an enormous amount of pressure on Scopebuilder, trying to get that position back, but I don't think it's going to work, at least not this corner.
Yeah, it's like I said, that was a great move there from Scope out from the first corner, well, from the last corner as well. Fantastic stuff there. Mike's just moved up to 10th, passing F1 Mr. P in 11th from 11th place here. Oh, down a bit.
Scope made a move again. Oh, and now there's another Haas of Mr. Sky putting a lot of pressure on Archie.
They're going side by side here. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. Oh, Archie just got wide there. Mike's dropped down to 11th now. He must I can't say my words now. If fantastic stuff here. Brilliant stuff from the drivers here. But Mike's dropped down to 11th place. Mr. Skies has gone wide there. So which has brought Archie Bargy back into play. Oh, he's gone wide.
Archie goes way, way wide. That part right there, the dreaded part of the stadium section that I was telling you earlier during qualifying, Scopefielder's been a victim and Archie's been a victim.
Yeah, mad times here. I tell you what, Tim, this is going to be a belter. I can't wait for the new season. Can you?
Definitely not, Malk. I cannot wait for this new season. If this is any indication of how the racing is going to be, then it is just going to be constant edge of your seat racing, because I just want to note that Archie, in a matter of one lap, has went from first to fourth. The entire top five is running basically nose to tail, battling each other. We do not have a one-car battle for the lead. We don't have a three-car battle for the lead. We have technically a five-car battle for the lead. All five of those cars on our screen right now have a shot at winning this race. Is now, Boy Better Know has now made a move on Scopefielder. Mr. Sky is now up first. Boy Better Know and Scopefielder running side by side.
Oh.
Who will get the advantage?
Scopefielder
on the inside.
Carry on, Tim. Carry on. You're on fire at the minute. Keep going.
Scopefielder on the inside. Boy Better Know putting an enormous amount of pressure. We are watching from the onboard of Archie as they are now entering the stadium section. And Boy Better Know is trying to make a move on Scope. Will Scope go wide? No, he does not. In fact, Boy Better Know went wide. Boy Better Know went way too wide. Scopefielder now trying to get in position. Just a little bit of contact. Just a little bit of wheel contact as Boy Better Know is now in the second position. Scopefielder in third. Archie in fourth. Watching this battle.
I'll tell you what, Tom 444 is coming out to the battle here. I'm watching it from his car point of view at the back end here. Everyone's got the DRS except for Boy Better Know. Scope is going to try for the 2 in a bit. Tom 444 is going for the 2 in a bit as well with this last first corner. Brilliant stuff. Oh, I tell you what, Archie Bargy is going to third place here. Fantastic stuff. Magnifique.
Four cars right here. 4 cars right here in a battle for second position. All 2 seconds behind Mr. Sky, who has absolutely left this field.
Oh, I tell you what. Oh, I've got this brilliant helicopter view. They need to keep. Oh no, Archie's lost the car.
Archie! He didn't. He said, what a save by Archie. Good job. He only drops back to 5th from 3rd position. That could have ended his day right there.
Yeah, absolutely there, Tim. I do apologise if I interrupted you on that point there, Tim, because like I said, it was just, I was worried that Archie was going to lose it completely on that corner there. But luckily for him, he's still in this pack here at the top of the, well, it's from 2nd to 5th here. This is a brilliant battle here. We've got some more battles going on. We might have a 3-car battle here between SJD, Sab and F1 Mr. P for a 3-car battle here. While you're watching the top 5 here, Tim, I'm going to watch this battle here between Sab, SJD and F1 Mr. P. Keep going, Tim.
Well, currently on board with Archie, and I want to note that just a lap ago, Scopefielder was 2.1 seconds behind Mr. Sky. He has now shrank that lead down to just 1.6. Scopefielder has an absolutely amazing car here. Nothing's going to keep him down, and Mr. Sky, before too long, needs to start looking in his mirrors. As right now, the field in the battle has mostly settled down. Scopefielder in second, led by Mr. Sky. Boy Better Know in third. Go ahead, Matt. What are you watching?
Oh, what a move! What a move there from SJD against Saab. But Saab will have the opportunity here for the DRS straight on the second one here. Before the first sector, Aaron J. Spencer's got the fastest lap of a 118.9. SJD, what a move! What a move! Brilliant stuff from the first corner. And I tell you what, we've got another 4-car battle here from Energy Dan all the way down. Well, maybe 5-car battle soon. But at the moment, 4-car battle from SJD, Sab, Mr. P, and Mike. Oh, fantastic. We had 4-car battle in the top 5, and now we've got another 4-car battle from 7th downwards here. Fantastic, Tim.
Currently watching the same battle that you're watching, the McLaren of Sav. He's trying to gain a little bit more. Nitro Gas is retired from the session. What's happened there?
I'm not sure here, Tim. I'm just going to find out from... We've got a safety car. We have got a safety car in this lap here. We're just waiting to find out where he's lost the car. Nitro Gas has left the session. Energy Dan has got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. I'm just... Oh! Nitro Gas has crashed through the S's. He might have been crashed through the S's here. SJD's got a drive-through penalty for speeding during the safety car. So SJD would be absolutely livid with that. I tell you what, some of the drivers already pitted. Mr. Sky C, Boy Better Know, Tom 444 have pitted. Scope, Energy Dan, Archie, F1 Mr. P, Mike, they've all pitted already. Sab and SJD, they've gone into, they're still out at the minute, so the top 2 drivers, they're going to be back in there. But like I said, Tim, I've noticed a few issues with the entrance. Even though you're hitting the limiter, you might get a penalty regardless if you're already hitting the limiter.
Now, I have heard that there's actually some issues with this game that that they are addressing and trying to patch. Is that are you saying that is an issue with the game, or is that just an issue of trying to be as fast as you can without speeding?
It would be as fast as you can on that one. Just have to wait and see what happens here. But like I said, looking at this barrel here, we've got a couple of barrels going on, piling up here. Energy Dan just let Scope field it through. We've got the safety car ahead. Yeah, we've got the safety car ahead. Like I said, SJD, Sab, I thought they would have gone in for another set of tyre wear now because there'll be a sitting duck here. SJD's pitted now. SJD's pitted, but Sab is still out. Mr. P's got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Archie. That's a bit random on that one, shall we say? On that.
Who did you say had the penalty?
Mr. P. F1 Mr. P.
Interesting. I don't even know what... I mean, I didn't see anything. I'm watching Mr. Sky right now. He's in the 2nd position, but I did not see anything that happened between Archie and Mr. P.
Yeah, he just come up underneath here saying that there were 5 seconds for severe collision, but it might have been a little tap, but probably called it as a severe one as well. But with this situation now at the safety car, is there anything that you could say? Would you have got in? Would you have gotten for fresher tyres, or would you have stayed out in this situation here, Tim?
Well, I think that pitting isn't going to hurt any drivers, definitely, because this really seemed to be about in the pit window that you were talking about, approximately 10 or 12 laps. And, the caution came out at about lap 7, lap 8, so it's a little early maybe. But do know that now that the safety car is out and this field is bunched back up, these guys that are on fresher tires, they might be able to step out to the lead, because right here we got Sab, who is on hard tires, who has 8 laps. Luke Bailey, 5th place, hard tires, 8 laps. And then you've got 2nd, 3rd, and 4th only have 1 lap on their medium tires, and that is the safety car lap, along with Scope Fielder, Energy Dan, Archie, Mr. P, Mike. All those drivers all the way down to 10th place, they only have the 1 lap on their tires. So I believe that the Luke Bailey and Sab are just going to be left in the dust here, because there's just so many fresher tires behind them. Yeah,
so many fresh tyres on this situation there. But whatever happens here, we have not been told the safety car's gone in, unless we've been... Oh, it's gone in. Safety car's gone in now. Sab's in the lead here now, but it would be a sitting duck here against Mr. Sky C. Boy Better Know. And Tom 4. Oh, Scott bosses Luke Bailey. We might have a 3. We might have a 3 in the bed situation here. Energy Dan backs into 6th. Luke Bailey. Oh, brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant here. Sab. No, Mr. Sky C back into the lead here.
We had a 2 in a bad situation momentarily for the lead, as Mr. Sky has now passed Sab for 1st place. Sab now in 3rd position with Boy Better Know in that Alfa Romeo in 2nd, right behind Sab. And now there's a little bit of a lockup. It looked like it came from TL44S. I'm not very sure. Maybe you have another word on that.
Yeah, Tom 44 went off the track a little bit there, but he tried to get the advantage back in, but he's back into... Well, I'll tell you what, Tom 44 is one of the drivers of my driver of the day at the minute, because he's moved 12 places, Tim. He's moved up 12 places so far in this race. But we've got a 3-car battle here between Sab, Archie and Energy Dan here. The guys who are in the fresher medium tyres, they're really going for it here. Tom 444's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Didn't want that at all. Did not want that at all, but Archie's closing in on Sab now, so Sab will be a sitting duck here on the DRS straight here, Tim.
Meanwhile, I'm watching the battle for the lead. Boy better know, in second position, he is trying to get that slipstream from Mr. Sky. In the stadium section, he was right on his bumper, but Mr. Sky got a much better exit out of the stadium section. Now with that slipstream, it is helping Boy better know a lot, but he cannot make the pass, but he is right there ready to pounce.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, Archie! Archie's moved up to 5th now. Sam drops down to 6th now. This is an absolute belter of a race here. We've got 2-2 battles here. Who's that? Energy Dan and Mr. P. Mr. P! Oh, it's good for the inside. Oh, a little bit late braking there from Mr. P there. Side by side with Sam here now. Oh, my God. What a move there from Energy Dan. That was a move and a half there. Saw the gap. He had a little bit of contact there between himself and Mr. P, but I tell you what, he saw the gap and he took it with ease there. He's really on fire through the S's here, through the sectors here. Coming to the end of the second sector now for this battle here, Tim.
Yeah, I was watching. There was a little bit of contact between the McLaren, but they definitely got through unscathed, and I'm actually surprised that Sab is making those hard tires work as well as he is. Granted, he's only in the 6th position after restarting first, but he is actually holding on a lot better than what I had thought he'd be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, fair play to the drivers here. Whatever happens here, oh my God, we got a 2-car battle. Sab is already defensive here. He's going to have to go long on those hard tires, but Energy Dan might have a chance. No! He needs to go through the outside. No, we might still have a 4-car battle. Oh, contact. Contact between Sab and Energy Dan. Oh, debris. There's a bit of debris. I don't know which car that was come off from. One of the cars has lost a bit of the debris. I think that might
Currently
be...
watching the same battle you're on.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Malk.
I think it's Mr. P's car that's lost a bit of debris. Yes, it is. He's lost a bit of his debris on the left hand. Well, both of them actually. He's lost both. A little bit of the aero type on the front wing as well. So he'll be a sitting duck on through the straights now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets pitted in the next few laps here, Tim.
Currently looking at Mr. P, and you're right that on that right side, it's just completely gone. There's definitely some wing damage, and you're right again, he is a sitting duck as they are just completely trying to motor by him. He's trying to be defensive, and he has the line going through that corner against the McLaren, but even he's going to let the McLaren by very soon. He's probably going to pit right now. He's coming toward the pits. We're going to see what he does, and he stays out. He actually stays out. Mr. P is No, never mind. Mr. P did, in fact, come into the pit. My apologies.
No worries, Tim. 5-second penalty for the speed in the pit lane for Mr. P here now. But Boy Better Know could have a chance here on the lead here with Mr. Sky C. A chance here now. Mr. Sky C is doing everything possible. Oh! Tom 4 has left the session.
That's going to be a DNF for him, and that is just utter disappointment, because as you said, he gained 12 spots since the beginning of this race, and it's just such a shame for him.
Yeah, Energy Dan scored a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I'm not sure why because he was on the outside, so something must have happened on one of the corners there, or something must have happened there. But Tom 4 did leave the he has left the session, but it doesn't mean it's say that he's DNF'd on screen. He's just probably may come back onto screen, come back onto the racing track as quickly as possible, because otherwise he will lose so much places here in a minute here. But like I said to you, Tim, it's going to be a frantic battle. We've got a 4-car battle here from 7th, from 6th on downwards here. So what do you think so far?
Boy Better Know, he's made a move for the lead on Mr. Sky, and he has cleared him. He now has the advantage. Boy Better Know, your new leader in this race right now, but Mr. Sky putting an enormous amount of pressure back onto that Alfa Romeo.
Oh, Mike's made a move on to 6th place. Saab drops down to 7th, but Energy Dan might have a chance. Ferocious Dan moves up to 10th place. Luke Bradley drops down to 11th. Tom 4 has gone back into his car now. He's back in the session now, so hopefully he will bounce back against Archie, whatever happens here tonight. But, what a move from Energy Dan. I don't know if that was a corner cut there, but it looked like he made the move stick there. But like I said, Saab will need to hold on with those tyres. He's on lap 13 laps, hard tyres, so he'll probably need to do at least another probably about another 4 to 5 laps if he wants to stay out any longer, whatever happens here tonight. Schofield has got a 3-second tyre penalty for multiple warnings now, Tim.
Currently watching what you were talking about with Sab is now the Ferrari of Colin J. Puts an enormous amount of pressure and gets by Sab as Sab went wide going into the stadium section.
Oh, mad times here. Colin J moves up to 8th. Fantastic stuff. Tom 44 has left the session again, so I think that might be connection issues with Tom 44. Hopefully he'll bounce back quickly and race again, because he would have been one of the drivers of the day, whatever happens here tonight. Sab's going to have a chance. He's got a brilliant slipstream here from Colin J. Needs to do that smooth through the first few corners here. He needs to do everything possible here, Tim.
Yep, currently watching it, and he is right on that bumper of Colin J. He's going to try to get the slipstream. He's making the move right now. He's going to have the advantage going into this corner. He's going to be on the inside, but he does not make the pass.
He doesn't make the pass here, Tim, but like I said, he's still with him. He's still with Colin J. He's still with Colin J. Sorry about that. I was trying to drink and talk at the same time, but that doesn't always work at that situation here. But we've got the Sab and Colin, the McLaren. Oh my God, Sab
went wide. He went way wide.
I'm not sure what happened with Sab. Could you follow that, Tim?
I'm not exactly sure what happened. But he just definitely went way wide. Apparently, he just went into that corner just a little too hot. Now, I know that unless he's changed recently, Sab uses a controller like I do, and sometimes the controller, if you don't have a good amount of dexterity, it can be really difficult to manage these corners. But I don't know what happened there, but he went wide. Now he's going into the pits. After 14 laps on these hard tires, Sab is now making a pit stop.
Yeah, we were on lap 16 of 36 of the Invictus Racing League and Performance League. Live and exclusive with myself, Malk, and the legend Tim with me, with the duo of the England versus USA banter situation with the comments on this tonight. So, we got the only battle we've got at the minute here, Tim, is the Boy Better Know and Mr. Sky C battle. I think this will be the one to watch this season. Do you agree with that?
Most definitely, and you know, wouldn't it be very ironic if Mr. Sky actually turned out to win this race? Because you're saying that he only has 1 win but 2 drivers' championships, and this isn't even a points race. And so it's like a bittersweet moment to win, because it shows you have speed. It shows that you can win a race, and obviously you did win a race, but you need to be able to carry that speed throughout the whole season. Mr. Sky, though, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. However, I do want to say I am very surprised by Boy Better Know being up here in first.
No, he's a quick drive here, Boy Better Know, but Mr. Sky's here on the side-by-side with the 2 in the bed, and he makes the move! What a move there! Oh, nearly lost it on the little bit of contact there. Not touched, whatever happens. Fair driver there, but Boy Better Know, I will say this now, Tim. Boy Better Know is one of the quickest drivers. He is on no assists as well. Bear that in mind, because he is absolutely quick. I'm not sure if Mr. Sky is on full in no assists, but I know Boy Better Know is on full no assists. Boy, I'll tell you what now, mate, it's going to be a belter of a race here. We've got this battle going on, and also we've got Colin J and Energy Dan for 7th and 8th, respectively. So I'll let you watch the top 2. Give us the update so far, Tim.
Well, Boy Better Know still in second place, but only by about 0.3 seconds as they're going into the stadium section. Riding on board with Boy Better Know, putting an enormous amount of pressure on that Haas of Mr. Sky, but Mr. Sky has the line. Mr. Sky gets out of the stadium section, a wonderful exit, not such a good entry on that final corner. Mr. Sky looked like for a minute he was going into the pits, but he's going to stay out, as with Boy Better Know. Boy Better Know trying to get that slipstream going down the straightaway as we are now lap 18 of 36. Boy Better Know making a move on Mr. Sky. Does he have the advantage going into this corner? Yes, he does. He is in front of Mr. Sky. He has cleared him. Boy Better Know now in command of this race.
Oh, fantastic stuff there from Boy Better Know. While you're watching that, Colin J touched the side of one of the drivers here. I couldn't remember who it was there, but Colin J lost the car and he dropped down to 12th place there. Now, 2 in the bed!
Mr. Sky trying to make a move.
Oh, what a move! What a move there from the Frenchman!
Boy Better Know's going to make a crossover. Will he be able to make it stick? Yes, he will. But Boy Better Know, he cut a corner. He cut a corner. 3-second time penalty for Boy Better Know. Unfortunate for him. He needs to now, if he's going to win this race, he needs to get out more than 3 seconds ahead of Mr. Sky, and that is after and if he can make the pass.
Yeah, after he make a nice pass. But I've got a comment here from Wooden Gevelt. If I said it wrong, sorry mate, I do apologise. He said, brilliant race, has to be said. Thank you, mate. Make sure you like and follow for all the live streams for the Invictus Race Leader Performance League as well. Tim, which stream are you doing on? Is it the F1 site?
Yes, I am on the F1 channel.
So make sure you follow the F1 channel on Tim for Tim's view of the commentary side. If you want to watch mine, I'm on the WWC. Oh, that's not my real name on that one. But like I said, Boy Better Know's made the move. What a move there! Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant from Boy Better Know. This is a ding-dong battle between the top two drivers. But Mr. Scorsese has the chance for the DRS straight here. Fantastic.
Boy Better Know protecting that outside line because it transitions into an inside in this corner right here, and that's where Schofielder was able to make the pass last time, even though he did get a little wide. Boy Better Know in command of this race, not having a lot of pressure from Mr. Sky. Excuse me, I said Schofielder just a moment ago.
It's all right. I'll let you off there, Tim. It's only pre-season, so I'll let you off with that one. You got one warning on that one, Tim. To be honest. But
well, to be fair, they're both in Haas cars.
Yeah, I'll let you off. I'll take the warning off. I'll just be a nice guy on that one. So it was
someone that won't have a. Go ahead, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it was Warris Lander. Warris Lander, you are a legend. Good evening to you, mate. I do apologise. I won't say the proper name, but I'm going to say Warris Lander is the guy that did the comments earlier on. Just it said brilliant race, has to be said. If you've got any comments, queries, make sure you like and follow for all the live races again. But like I said, we're on lap 20 and 36. What was you going to say, Tim? Sorry.
Honestly, I just forgot. However, I do want to give a shout out to Sir Spud, who said that this is a good race in my view of the chat. So thank you, Sir Spud, for your viewership, and good luck to whatever races you may be running this week.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, magnifico. Mike's going to the pits. 12 laps on the softs. So my prediction of 8 to 10 laps has been shot off there. Same with SJD's on 11 laps. So I was guesstimate with the tyre wear regarding it. Luke Bailey's done 19 laps on the hard tyres, so that's a good job, to be fair. Ferocious Dan done the fastest lap of the race with a 1:18.8, I believe. I just quickly check that. 1:18.5, sorry, my mistake on that one. So carry on with that, Tim.
Oh no, you're completely fine, but Mr. Sky now putting a little bit of pressure on Boy Better Know there. He's only about half a second behind him. He is right there, but he cannot seem to get the speed to make the pass. However, he got a better exit out of the stadium than Boy Better Know did. Now they're going down the final stretch. We're now on lap 21 of 36. Mr. Sky trying to get that slipstream from Boy Better Know, but he is too far away to make the pass work. But he does also have DRS, and he is going to make an attempt. He's going to make an attempt. I didn't think he was close enough, but yes, he does make an attempt, but it does not stick. It does not stick. Mr. Sky still in second place behind Boy Better Know.
Oh, fantastic stuff here. While you're watching that battle, I'm watching Ferocious Dan and Mike. Mike against Ferocious Dan in 9th and 10th, respectively. Oh, Archie's closing on scope. Archie's closing on scope.
Meanwhile, there's a battle and a little bit of contact between Mr. Sky and Boy Better Know. Mr. Sky is up in the lead, but there was just a little bit of contact, maybe a little bit of wing damage on Boy Better Know, but I feel that both drivers got away relatively unscathed. It's just that Boy Better Know now in the second position, chasing down Mr. Sky as they head toward the stadium section. They'll
go through the stadium section now, but Boy Better Know's got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He did not want that at all, Tim. He did not want that at all. Great battle here. We got the Haas versus the Alfa Romeo car. I tell you what, if this is what it should be like in the real F1, to see what would have happened in this situation here. But it looks like we might have some good battles here if they are the real teammates and stuff. Oh, who's
Boy
that?
Better Know going into the pits though.
Would you say?
Yeah, Boy Better Know into the pits. What would I say? I'm sorry, Malcolm.
Sorry, what would you say about the tyre wear? Do you think that was too early with the medium tyre? Do you think that was enough?
Well, I really can't say because I don't know how hard Boy Better Know has been driving versus Mr. Sky.
Oh.
But I feel like he's actually right about on his window is now there's a little bit of contact. I'm watching the battle between Archie and Scopefielder right now. There's a little bit of contact, but Archie got ahead.
Yeah, but like I said, fantastic stuff here between these two drivers here, Archie and Scope. They're really having a go at this now. But whatever happens here tonight, Tim, this has been an absolute belter of a race. This should, like I said, everyone will be asking why is this not in the calendar for this season. But like I said, I'm quite interested with the new season, with the new calendar, to see what would happen. Oh, Aaron J. Spence, what's happened to him?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew, actually. I saw that he's now retired from the session. It looks like he's going to suffer a DNF, so unfortunate for him. Not sure what happened, though.
I don't know if he's had the same problems what Nitrogash did earlier on in the race when he crashed out through the SS section. Oh no! Oh,
Archie in the Alfa Romeo now going into the pits. It is now a Haas 1-2 of Scopefielder and Mr. Sky, as Mr. Sky is in the pits as well, and he is making his stop, and he is now away.
I believe Aaron J. Spencer's left the session. I believe, yeah, Aaron J. Spencer has left the session. With he went into the pits, and his car just stopped completely. So something must have happened there. But this has been a belt of a race. I just hope there's no other issues, no tissues, shall we say, on this battle here. But Scopefield has got a 16-second gap between himself and Boy Better Now. The pits are about 20 seconds, I believe, 20 to 25 seconds. So Scope needs to get at least 10 seconds to stand a chance of holding on into the lead, whatever happens here tonight. But Archie's closing on Tom 44 in 4th place, which Tom 44 has had the DNF, shall we say. But what are your thoughts so far on lap 23.36 here, Tim?
Well, so far it's been an absolutely amazing race. I dare say probably the most entertaining race that I've seen while commentating for Invictus Racing League. But going back onto the pit stop, I do not think that Scopefielder is going to remain in the lead after he makes his stop, as Boy Better Know has already cut down the time to a full second. And Mr. Sky in 3rd behind Boy Better Know, but that is 2 seconds behind. So I'm thinking that once Scopefielder makes his stop, which he has in fact now made his stop, and he is away, we're going to see right now just who gets up ahead. Boy Better Know in fact is in 1st, followed by Mr. Sky in 2nd. Scopefielder currently in 3rd. Will Archie beat him out? Yes, he does. Archie has beat him out. Scopefielder rejoins this race in the 4th position.
But bear in mind though, Tim, bear in mind he has got an advantage here. He's got 2 laps worth of tyre wear free, shall we say, as in because the other drivers have already pitted like a lap or 2 ago. So it just depends on if he could do well near the end when the tyre wear could be knackered or tiring at the end. We have to wait and see what happens here. But we've got a battle going on between Sab, Mike and Ferocious Dan for 6th, 7th and 8th respectively here, Tim. Look, with the drivers so far, who's been your driver of the day so far with 12 laps remaining?
Well, I'm definitely going to have to give it to... Oh, a little bit of contact between the Toro Rosso and the McLaren of Energy Dan. This is now a 3-way battle for the lead. Or not the lead, excuse me, for 7th position.
I'll let you off again there, Tim. I'll let you off again on that one, so don't worry about that. But like I said, Mike's just gone past 2 McLarens in there. Mr. Scorsese done the fastest lap of the race with... no, I do apologise. Archie's done the fastest lap of the race with a 1:17.5 in the race here tonight. But like I said, Mike's holding on for 6th. The 2 McLaren boys on 7th and 8th. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1. Mr. P has retired from the session. Mr. P has retired from the session. So oh, he's crashed. He's crashed on, I believe, turns 2, I believe turn 2 or 3. He has lost the car on there, so I'm not sure what happened exactly, but his car was off track on there. That's why I just saw a glimpse of it. So hopefully we've had 15 drivers started, Tim, and now we've got 11 drivers to remain in with 11 laps remaining of this Invictus Racing League, the Performance League Performance League, the only Performance League.
Now, going back to the driver the day before that amazing battle that we saw, I'm going to have to give the Energy Dan and the Renault, who I'm actually watching right now, as he has just made an impressive move. You know, last week he elected to start on the hard tires, qualify and start on the hard tires, maybe hoping that he could improve his position a little more. Unfortunately, the hard tires just weren't the decision to make last week. So then this week, I believe he started on the medium tires, correct me if I'm wrong, but he still did not have the best qualifying session. Nonetheless, he's now worked his way up all the way to the 5th position, so a good showing here by Energy Dan.
Fair play to him here. Luke Bailey's got 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. Energy Dan and Saba and Luke Bailey are the only ones who have done the 1 stop. Everyone else has done 2 stops here, Tim. So, with Energy Dan, Sab and Luke Bailey, do you reckon they'll do another tyre wear? Oh, actually, Sab has proved me all wrong here. He's going back. He's going to the pits. So he'll do the 2 stop, shall we say, tonight.
Well, Energy Dan is, as I said, in 5th position. He has 4 seconds on the driver behind him, so he won't remain in the 5th position if he were to pit. Honestly, I think that he should try to stay out there as long as possible. I don't think he's going to be able to make it another 10 laps on those tires, though.
Yeah, he's already on 18 laps. 18 laps of the medium tyre already. So, fair play to Energy Dan. I think he's trying to hold out for the soft tyres to the end if he does pit again, which I would not be surprised, because he's on the limiter here with those tyre wear. But tyre wear's still going. It's still going, whatever happens here. But Sky could have a chance here on Boy Better Know on the longest DRS straight. Boy Better Know's already gone defensive here and might have a 2 in the bed. Oof!
Oh, little bit of contact.
Definitely there, Tim, but not as bad. Not as bad from what we're seeing at the minute. But looking at it from that point of view, I was worried that Boy Better Know was just going back into Sky C's car there. But not saying it on purpose, but I think he was trying to get back onto the racing line. But it must been a scary thought there. What would have happened if he was in that position there, Tim?
Truthfully, I have no idea what would have happened if I was in that position personally. I just know that, see, I'm thinking you need to hold your line, but if you can, you need to take a little bit of evasive action if you're Mr. Sky and you see a car coming at you, because otherwise it's going to ruin both of your days if it had turned out worse than it did. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. But there's been no issues, no tissues, shall we say, but like I say, Mr. Sky is still holding on the French va-va-voom, as I always say to him. And that's why he might have to be in the Renault car for the va-va-voom type stuff. Good evening to Colin J, who's not happy with... I've just had a comment here say, did not enjoy that race throughout the formation. Thought the formation lap was first, then we started. I did not start. Then I lost it in the first lap and then felt Dan did not give me room at the end, but I would not complain, it's only pre-season. So, like I said, I didn't see much of the action, but it should have been a formation lap with the settings. So, at the time,
definitely there should have been. Is now. Boy Better Know is going to try to make a move on Mr. Sky. He was right on his bumper going down that straightaway, but he will not make the pass, at least not this time around. He's going to try to maybe make it here a little bit later if he can get under it, but he's just not going to be able to do it.
He won't be able to do it, but while you're watching that, Tim, I'm going to look at the battle. Energy Dan. Energy Dan's trying to close in on Tom Fowler for 7th place. Saab, the 2 McLarens in 10th and 11th respectively. They're going for ding-dong battles here throughout the long DRS straight here. Might have to go back to Boy Better Know in a minute here. But lap 28.36. Can Ferocious Dan moves up to 10th. Ferocious Dan moves up to 10th. Saab drops down to the 11th. So, fantastic move there from Ferocious Dan. Let's go back to the top 2. Who's going to be on the DRS straight here now? I'll sound like one of the horse racing commentators now. Forget the F1. This is the horse racing stuff. 2 battles here. We've got Boy Better Know. Try to do Scotty. Work out Scotty. Try and do everything he can against Mr. Scotty. The va-va-voom. With a room on that one. Brilliant stuff. What a move. Oh, brilliant stuff there from Boy Better Know. Back into first place. These two are having a ding-dong battle here, Tim.
Making it sick out of turn number 1 was Boy Better Know, and I agree. An amazing battle between these two and a very clean battle. but amazing nonetheless.
Oh, fantastico, magnifico. I don't know how you say magnifico in French, but I'm going to say baba boom on that one, with a baba boom. But can Mr. Skyseed get that extra oomph back into the first place again? I'll tell you what, these two are having a brilliant battle. Like I said, guys, if you're in the comments or watching the stream, who do you think's your driver of the day? Who do you think's been your best ever driver in this race so far in the Performance League tonight? Who's been the one to watch tonight? If you can't pick one, pick a top three. Pick a top three of the drivers that you think should be there. Then we'll decide between myself and Tim on the battle here. But we've got a 3-car battle here, Tim, and I'll let you do that with the DRS straight now. Tim.
DRS straight indeed, as Mr. Sky was right on the bumper of the Alfa Romeo. Sorry, my mic was muted there for just a moment, but nonetheless, Mr. Sky has gotten by Boy Better Know. Boy Better Know putting an enormous amount of pressure. These guys just will not let up, and Archie is behind him in third place, only about half a second behind Boy Better Know, and he is ready to pounce if these drivers make a mistake. This is an amazing battle. I'm on the edge of my seat as Boy Better Know a little bit of lockup going to that corner, but he gets away unscathed.
This is a great battle here between the 3 cars here. I tell you what, Colin J says Mike from me. Tell you what, Mike's done well. I did say to watch out for him at the start of the race because he does well from the back and he gets into at least the top 5 finish, or possibly a podium stuff if he can try and catch up to them. And it's a bit of a tough ask with 6 laps remaining here, but we've got a 3-car battle here. Scope could join the battle here if these 3 are still in contact here. Warris Lander says, for me, there's 2. Boy Better Know and Mr. Sky say, what a fight. Absolutely spot on there with that comment there. But I tell you what, Archie's want to try and spoil the fun between these 2 drivers here. So Boy Better Know has a long DRS straight here now. Mr. Sky will be a sitting duck here. Mr. Sky Scorsese goes to the inside. What a move! What a hold-on move there from Mr. Scorsese. Back into first, but Boy Better Know might have a chance here for the DRS straight now. Watching it from Boy Better Know's point of view here. Can he try and go for the inside? He's going for the inside! Ooh, I tell you what, that was a close call there. Bear in mind, a little bit of contact there, not much, but Mr. Scorsese's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, Tim.
Yeah, and I was watching, there was a little bit of contact, and I'm surprised that contact wasn't as worse as it was, but truth be told, it kind of helped Mr. Sky, gave him just a little bit more of speed going down that straightaway. But yeah, I saw also Mr. Sky has that penalty, and that's going to put a spanner in things because Boy Better Know and Mr. Sky both now have at least one 3-second time penalty.
I tell you what, Boy Better Know has got another 3-second time penalty. He might need to be careful now because he has got quite a few penalties from what I remembered. So I'm not sure exactly how many he's got, but I knew he had a few penalties popped up, especially when he was in the pits as well. But Archie could have a chance here on Boy Better Know. Archie's got 9 laps worth of the medium tyres compared to Boy Better Know. Oh my God, we might have a 3. We might have a 2 in a bed. 3! 3 in a bed. 3. Oh my God, that could have been nasty stuff there, but brilliant stuff here. Oh, what a move! What a move! 3. This could be a 3. Yes! We've got a 3 in a bed. 3 in a bed situation here. Oh, the 2 Alfa Romeos. Oh! Archie Bargy, what a move, son. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant from Archie. From 3rd to 1st within the next few corners. And I've lost my voice, Tim. I'll let you carry on. Oh, brilliant stuff. Tim.
Amazing stuff from Archie, and Boy Better Know as Mr. Sky is now in the 3rd position. He wasn't first, now in 3rd. Boy Better Know in 2nd, but Boy Better Know putting a lot of pressure back on Archie. He wants this position, and he wants it now.
Yeah, brilliant stuff here from the top 3 here. And as you can see from the background there, Scope is about to join this battle here for the 4-car battle. Oh my God, could we see a 4 in a bed situation at Mexico in the next few laps? Good evening to
Boy Better Know making a move on the inside.
Carry on.
And he made that move with relative ease. Archie was going to try to make the crossover move, but did not make it stick. He thought better of it. Boy better know in the Alfa Romeo. Now up in first. Behind him is Archie in the Alfa Romeo as well. Mr. Sky and Scope Fielder, 2 Haas cars, rounding up third and fourth. Of course, Mr. Sky, the only one close enough, at least thus far, to maybe have a chance in this battle. But Scope Fielder 2 seconds behind Mr. Sky. If these guys make a mistake, he's in the catbird seat.
Oh, I'll tell you what. The guys in the comments are absolutely loving this. They're absolutely loving this battle here. This has been a fantastic race. Good evening to SJD. SJD had a DNF earlier on. He says 2 Alphas ganging up on the Haas. Brilliant racing, absolutely brilliant. Oh, what's happening? Mr. Scorsese could have a chance here on second place. Contact, a little bit of contact on the front end between Mr. Scorsese and Archie there, but still holding on here. But I'll tell you what, Tim. If this is what we're looking forward to in the next few in this season coming up, these 4 could be title challengers, whatever happens here. I know this is equal performance situation here, but I tell you what, these 4 drivers could have a say on the drivers, maybe the constructors as well. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Oh, definitely. All 4 of these drivers are showing an enormous amount of speed here in this race, and very promising for their seasons for sure. But Mr. Sky in second, just not giving up. Archie, he got just a little bit loose. He hit, what was that, the sign in the corner, was it not?
It was one of the Adira straights, Tim. But energy damage got 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Scope, as you said earlier, Tim, he's pounced on Archie's mistake here now. Archie was in the lead the last few laps ago and now has dropped down to 4th. Who's going to win this race? Send us your comments, guys. Who do you think is going to win this race tonight? Will it be Boy Better Now? Will it be Mr. Scorsese? Or would Scope pounce on the 2-lap better medium tyres? Archie's got 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. I believe it could be between Scope and Mr. Scorsese because Boy Better Now has got quite a few penalties. I know Mr. Scorsese's got at least 1 or 2 penalties, I think, but I might be wrong. But it depends on what everyone else. It will all go down to penalties here, Tim, which would be a shame, to be fair.
It is a shame, and it's also going to make it very interesting. I know for a fact that Boy Better Know has at least 6 seconds in penalties. Mr. Sky has at least 3. I'm not sure how many penalties, if any, Scope Builder has. So it's definitely going to be between Mr. Sky and Scope Builder unless something drastic happens with those 2 Haas cars, because Boy Better Know, despite running an amazing race today, he just has too much time against him that, for him to hope to win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, 1.8 seconds between Archie and Boy Better Know. Haas versus the Alfa Romeo car. I tell you what, if these are going to be what happened here, I just can't wait for it. I really can't wait for it. I've had a few comments here so far. SJD says, though I had 3 sets of softs last stop, they put me on the used set. 5th was on, I think, but I raged. Oh, okay, fair enough. But he did say Scope Fielder to win the race. Colin J says Scorsese has won this, I think. So we're on penultimate lap. We're on penultimate lap 35. We will go on to the final lap. Do we have to finish this? Because there's a 4-car battle here between the top 4 drivers here. Last lap here, Tim. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you do it, Tim, for the last lap. You commentate on the last lap. Go on, son.
All right, and Boy Better Know in the lead for this final lap, followed by Mr. Sky and Scope Fielder, the 2 Haas cars, and the other Alfa Romeo in 4th of Archie. They are all within approximately 1 second or so of each other. Currently, no passes for position just yet, but Mr. Sky is going to try to maybe make the pass coming into this next straightaway. But we're going to have to see just what happens. He probably knows that Boy Better Know has more time penalties than him, but nonetheless, he's going to try to get real close to that back bumper of the Alfa Romeo. It's not going to stick this time around. The next opportunity he's going to have to pass him is in the stadium section, and that may very well be the last opportunity that Mr. Sky is going to have. I would very much love to see the driver who crosses the line first also win this race. It's a shame that these penalties exist, but they exist for a reason, because otherwise it would be a safety issue. Of course, nothing to worry about here in esports. No safety concerns. Boy Better Know still in first.
What a move!
Archie now in third.
Carry on, Tim. Carry on.
Archie in third. Mr. Sky in second. Boy better know, coming out of the final corner. He's going to lead this final lap, but is he going to be able to win this race? No, he will not, as Mr. Sky is in first place officially. Mr. Sky has won this race. Congratulations to Mr. Sky, followed by Scope Builder. Boy better know, ending up in the third position. Behind him is LR Archie and the Alfa Romeo. The top four have officially finished. Mr. Sky is your winner.
Brilliant stuff, fantastic stuff there from Mr. Scorsese. Boy Benson now did cross over the line first, as you just saw, but Mr. Scorsese has won it based on the penalties situation here. Scopefielder got second, Boy Benson now got third, Archie got fourth, Mike, who's done a fantastic drive from the start of the, well, pretty much near the back on there to fifth place, so he'll be one of my drivers of the day, in my opinion, so far. We've got Tom 44 who did have a DNF, so he would have had the best race ever. Tom 44. Ferocious finishes in 7th. Luke Bailey finishes in 8th. Saab, we're coming up to the final corner now. A few penalties galore there now. Like I said, SJD says IndyCar rules, no track limits there. And SJD says, well done, Sky Scope. Enjoy the Williams. Warris Lander says, congrats to Mr. Sky C. So, Mr. Sky C, fantastic drive from him, and also, like I said, from all the drivers here tonight, fantastic stuff. I'm just going to go straight to the results grid, and I'll go through it quickly. Here are your Mexican Grand Prix race classification for the Invictus Racing League Performance League. Here, Mr. Sky C in first, Scopefielder in second. You got Miss Boy Better Know in third, Archie in fourth, top four. I'll tell you what, Tim would agree with me, this has been one of the best races we've ever seen together, even though it's only been the second pre-season race, but this has been one of the best races we have ever seen for a very, very long time. Mike in fifth, the only one who's not had a penalty, I think. Yeah, he's the only, except for Aaron J. Spencer, Colin J, who had the DNFs. Mike's the only one who's had no penalty galore, so fantastic stuff from him for fifth place. Tom 44, he had a DNF, so he would have finished 6th, but he had a DNF. Ferocious in 7th. Luke Bailey is in 8th. Saab is in 9th. Energy Dan in 10th. SJD, F1 at Mr. P, Aaron J. Spence, Colin J, Nitrica, probably, constant hiccuping. I know Colin J, Aaron J. Spence did not have penalties as well, but they did not finish earlier on in the race. Well, I was on about the track itself, but fantastic stuff here. Whatever happens here, Tim.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. And I do say that even though this was a preseason race, no points on the line, I think that this race needs to be added for. It needs to be in consideration. Well, yes, it does need to be added for next season, but it also just needs to be considered for probably one of the best races in the Invictus Racing League. I have not seen every single race we've ever run, but nonetheless, that has to be top 5.
Yeah, one of the top 5 races. I've seen many great races, but this one has to be right on the top again. This has been especially a 4-car battle. We've had 3 in the beds, we've had 2 in the bed situations, we've had loads of cars, but the safety car kind of brought it back into the play here for the drivers here, and it's a brilliant drive whatever happens here. But fantastic stuff here for the drivers. There will be no interviews for the drivers tonight for the top 3, so unfortunately I would have liked to hear what they would have thought of the battle here, but fantastic stuff there. Well done to Mr. Sky C, Scope, and to I think it was Boy Better Know, and then Archie as well. The top 4 drivers was fantastic. Before we go, who's been your driver of the day there, Tim?
Well, I'm definitely going to have to give it to, I can't even give it to one driver. I'm going to have to give it to Boy Better Know and Mr. Sky, because they just put on such an amazing battle, and neither of them gave up. Neither of them gave an inch, but they both had a relatively clean battle. Maybe a little bit of contact here and there, but definitely nothing that would be considered controversial by any means. It was simply just racing deals and just hard racing that we saw tonight. So both of them, great job.
Yeah, to be fair, Mr. Scorsese and Boy Better Now were my two others as well behind the scenes, but obviously Mike I will add to that list as well. But because us two could not pick any of those drivers, so for one-off only, this will be 3 drivers to have drivers of the days. Mr. Skyc, Boy Better Know, and Mike for their brilliant drives throughout the race tonight. It would have been Tom 444 had he not had the disconnection earlier on. It would have not been Mike for the drive of the day included, but it would have been different if Tom 444 holding on within the podium stuff. I don't think he would have had a good podium stuff. But what's your thoughts of the race before we shoot off, Tim?
Well, definitely just an absolute amazing race. It actually has me a bit lost for words. You know, we didn't have the formation lap, so we had a bit of a sloppy start, not from the drivers, but just because no one really was ready. But nonetheless, the race just completely turned out to be one of the most entertaining ones, and that safety car almost was a bit lucky, if I'm going to say that, because it bunched the field back up and it got everyone else sort of, back in the game, and it also kind of shook pit strategy up a little bit because we saw drivers going approximately 12 to 15 laps on the medium tires, but then a lot of them only had about 7 or 8 laps at that time, and they decided to pit for fresher tires. And then of course, the ones that stayed out on the hard tires, they just kind of dropped back and faded out.
Yeah, absolutely there. But again, we have to keep saying this has been one of the best races we've ever witnessed, watched as well. Not only there's been like the top 4 battles, but there was so many battles in the midfield pack and at the back as well. So whatever happens there, all the drivers here have been a brilliant drive. Whatever happens, it's just a shame about the drivers who had the DNS or disconnection issues. But hopefully next week we'll find out more info and more up-to-date stuff, because next week at the Invictus Race League Performance League is the start of the leagues of the racing itself. But are you looking forward to it next week here, Tim?
Yes, I am absolutely looking forward to it. If the race next week is even half as entertaining as the one tonight, I'm still looking forward to it. That was absolutely an amazing race, and we got Sir Spud on Twitch right now. He actually wants to say thank you to SkyZ for hosting the race tonight, as apparently Sir Spud is on holiday right now, so he was not able to be here with us tonight, but he's sending out his thanks to Mr. Sky for hosting this event.
Fair dues. But well done to Mr. SkyZ also. Well done to, like I said, to Scope and to Archie and to Boy Better Know as well, because they were brilliant drives, whatever happens here. But also, it's not always about the top 4, it's everyone else here tonight. But like I said, I'd like to thank everyone. Warwick Landers just sent a comment in the last minute here. It says, compliments on the commentating as well, guys. You two made it even more exciting to watch. Oh, that is an absolute gem of a legend, Warwick Lander.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Warwick Lander. Much appreciated. I'm sure that the other guys who are watching are absolutely delighted with our commentary as well. With a 2 in the beds, 3 in the beds situation, but also a 4-car battle. During that, I really do hope we keep that going throughout the season. And Tim, any final thoughts before we shoot off? Any final thoughts from you?
Well, I just want to agree with Sir Spud, who's still on the Twitch chat. He says, bring on next week, and I tell you, I'm commentating a race on this channel for tomorrow as well, another preseason race at Mexico, so I have another race in my book for this week. But nonetheless, I'm definitely ready for next week as well, because it's the official start of the season, and that is when points are on the line, and then I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more risky moves once points get on the line. So it's just going to be very exciting, and I'm just looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff there. And another comment there from Scott, aka Boy Better Know. How you doing, mate? You're right. He says, drive of the day. We couldn't decide which one to pick. There's 3 drivers, yourself, Mr. Skyc, and Mike. Scott says driver of his day is Skyc. But yeah, fantastic stuff. I hope you enjoy the stream, guys. I hope you enjoy the commentary from myself and Tim. Tim, thank you very much for doing the commentary as always, and I can't wait to start next week to start off the proper season of the Invictus Racing League Performance League. So thank you very much for tonight and for the pre-season races from last week and tonight. So thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated on that.
Hey, it's been fun. I think we've had a lot of fun here commentating, and it's only the second race in, and how many races do we have left?
There's no more pre-season races. There's 2 races, and then we go straight in, which we will have 12 races of the season. There will be 6 weeks, the first 6 weeks, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll have another 6 weeks of Invictus Racing League. So that will be the 12. Well, it's kind of like 13 weeks, but with the break in between as well. So we'll have the first 6 weeks, like the first half, and then we have the second half. Type, Tim.
All right. Well, then it's going to be an amazing 12 races for sure. And, I look forward to being here with you for every race this season. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I'm just going to say my final thoughts. Thank you, Tim, thank you to all the comments. Thank you to everyone that was watching the stream. But like I said, one of the best races, one of the closest races we've ever seen for a very long time. Tim would have gone nuts. We received a 3 in a bed, or maybe even a 4 in a bed situation. I would have liked to have seen that in that situation on the comments, on the commentary box, shall we say. But we might have to wait for that in the league stuff. So hopefully we'll see that. But fantastic drive from the Vavavoom, the French guy of Mr. Sky C, who taken the pole. Well, Scope did well on the qualifying, bear in mind, but bear in mind Mr. Sky C and Boy Better Now did one of the bestest ever battles we've ever seen. Also Archie and Scope as well. That it just made it even more better. But also there's so many battles going left, right, so that everyone was all on fire tonight. But always remember, always remember, stay classy. Cheers for that, guys. Cheers for that, Tim. And I'll see you all next week at the glorious race for the very first race of the 2019 season of the Invictus Racing League Performance League every Tuesdays. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.